On mute, on mute. Oh my gosh, sis, I did. Welcome, everybody, to the season finale of the Pretty Purposeful Podcast. I'm your host, Angee Mèlange.
I'm your co-host, Candace.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so yeah, still working on my live skills. It's gonna take a little bit getting used to managing two different platforms. We are currently live on Instagram. So if you are joining us on Instagram or you watch this later on Instagram, hello. And to our YouTube people, hello, happy Sunday. Let me get some information up on the screen here. I feel like our screen is a little bit naked. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys, we are here at the end of season 4. Can you believe it, sis? We are. What did you do there?
The time flew by. I feel like it was January last week. Okay, so the fact that we're in the summer, I'm just like,
I know.
I think today marks the first day of summer too. So I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's going to be a very hot one. I'm not complaining because here in Georgia, we've had a lot of rain. So I'm looking forward to the sun.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I was just telling Candace earlier that we did our season 2 live Q&A at the end of our season, like almost a year to the day. It was June 23rd. June 23rd. We didn't have this platform that we're using now at the time. So we actually did our live in person in my studio. Remember?
Yes, I do remember. I do. Had me a little, I think it was a long ponytail. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, our setup was funny because again, we were still trying to, we don't go live that regularly. So we were still trying to like figure out how to make it work logistically. And
right.
Yeah, but we did it though. It was, we had engagement. Let me see if there's anybody currently in the chat.
Okay.
Now, I know that here in the virtual studio, we will see comments. If we click on, you go to comments, we can see comments from, I want to say YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, at this time, the platform that we use, StreamYard, doesn't let us get live comments from Instagram, but we can see YouTube comments in the virtual studio. For Instagram, we have to go outside of the studio to see the comments. So if you're watching right now from Instagram and you have a question, if we don't get to you immediately, just give us a little bit of time. We will get to you.
Yes.
So I have to keep remembering to check in on Instagram people, because I know people will pop in and out. So with that being said, if you're watching this not live, welcome. We're glad to have you here. Feel free to ask comments in the comment section, ask questions after this post, and we will definitely still engage with you and still answer questions. So, but hello, everybody. We are here at the end of season 4. So we have prepared some questions because, of course, we understood that we may not have, live engagement. And even if we did, there's still information that we wanted to be able to share with you all. Some questions that we think are, most likely to be asked, or things that people will probably inquire about. So we did have some questions already planned to answer for you. And, again, let's see here. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and get my banners up here. All right. So first and foremost, if you are not a subscriber, please take a moment to hit subscribe. We are still growing the platform. This community is still growing. Would love for you to be a part of the community going forward. And then, of course, just, be subscribed, because you just never know when we may pop back up on here live. And so you'll get the notification if you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And thank you for all of our supporters to this day, everyone who has supported the Pretty Purposeful Podcast. We gratefully appreciate you, your feedback, the engagement. And all right, so we'll go ahead and get into, we normally do updates, right? So there's usually like, okay, so what you been up to? So this time we're gonna kind of, in the spirit of, consistency, we'll say, we're going to kind of kick this off the same way. So I'm going to turn it over to my sis and ask the first question. What moment or moments stand out to you most from this past season 4?
The moments. Oh, there's a lot of moments. One moment that I will call out is the moment when I unexpectedly ran into cousin PJ. Okay. Now, so I don't know if you all are aware of this, but Angee invited cousin PJ to come on the platform. It was the episode where we talked about, it was either like slow grind or the fast lane.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was the first time I met cousin PJ virtually. But then, as time went on, and we'll talk about this a little later on, but I ended up popping, like, we were helping a dear friend of ours, and out of the blue, cousin PJ just pops up. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is like...
And y'all captured that moment and sent it to me.
Yes, captured the moment, sent it to Angee, and was like, Angee, girl, look at God, look at this. Because if we hadn't known Angee, none of this wouldn't have even existed. We just would have been complete strangers. So I don't think it was a coincidence. I think it was like a touch from God saying, you're on the right path. Both of you all are on the right path, and keep doing what you're doing. And it was just amazing. Yeah. And another moment that stood out to me from season 4 is, okay, so Dr. Henry came to the platform. She did a phenomenal job when we pretty much, had her doing on the episode. And to see how, like, it's such a small world. She had already knew some of Angee's mutual, I guess you could say, relatives or friends. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Now, I met Dr. Henry when I was in Florida around the Tampa, Plant City area, just randomly. And I invited Dr. Henry to come on board, and to find out that she knew some of Angee's folks. again, a touch from God. And Angee said it best. Like, it's situations like that, it's moments like that that remind you that you are aligned. Because how in the world would I would I have brought Dr. Henry on if I didn't feel like she did align? Right. So those were just mind-blowing moments during season 4 for me. What about you, girl?
Yeah, so, well, I agree with both of those moments. And I'm glad you pointed those out, because honestly, when I reflected back on the season, I didn't really drill down into like specific moments. It was more for me of just the whole entire season. Just considering everything that's going on in the world, and the fact that for me, I felt like from the very beginning, setting the tone, being very intentional about focusing on what is really happening in the world, and making sure that the content that we're producing and just the information that we're putting out there is actually meaningful and relevant right now. Not talking about dating and the 50-50. And no, this was a time to be very intentional about the messaging, making sure that our purposeful family could walk away from each episode with some actionable steps, something that they could do, even if it was just self-care, like reminding people that through this time, what we're experiencing is unprecedented, and having this platform and having a voice at this time in history, and to use it purposefully, that for me made this season, that was it. Like, the whole season was the moment, because it's literally reflecting the moment. So
it was.
Yes. So, yeah, girl, that Dr. Henry and Cousin PJ, the alignment is you can't plan for moments like that. That right there is kind of like the it just, like you said, it just really solidifies that you're on the right path. And yeah, so Purposeful Family, the fact that y'all went through that with us this season and experienced that with us, that's definitely a testament. That's
Yes.
All right. Okay, so next question. Let's see, because we want to stay on track. We want to make sure we get all these questions in. Okay. All right. So, what were the biggest challenges producing this season?
Ooh. Look, you want me to answer that one first?
You can. If you want me to take it, I can take it.
I'm gonna let you take this one. I have my answer.
Okay, so this season, just like every other season, when you're working a full-time job, and not just a job, it's a career. I work in healthcare. As you know, our industry right now is just like everything else in our lives right now, or it feels like things are just under attack, so it means it's going to amplify any stress, work-related stress that there was. It has only amplified that. Also, being supportive of my daughter, making sure, this was her first year in college. And by the way, I just want to say she got a 4.0. She finished her listen. She made the president's list.
That is awesome. Congratulations. That is awesome. Y'all, this is my first time hearing this.
I'm so proud. Yes,
that is awesome.
She got a certificate in the mail the other day, and I didn't know what it was. I knew it was from the university, so I handed it to her. She came back and said, "Look, Mom," all nonchalant, like, "Here you go." So yes, I'm so proud of her.
That is excellent.
But just making sure that she is good, because she's my only child, and she's a girl, and she's up there in Athens with everything going on. So my focus between work and motherhood and then the podcast, I was stretched thin. There were many times where I didn't get much sleep. In fact, I think I'm still catching up on sleep. So, burnout is real. And I would just say that that's been the biggest challenge, is to continue knowing that everything that I'm doing is meaningful. I'm not out here wasting my time with the wrong people. I'm not in the wrong places, and I'm not doing the wrong things. So that's why for me, even though it was challenging, it's like it wasn't in vain. It really mattered. Every single effort that was put forth, the sleepless nights, the content that we were able to produce. Yeah, we had some moments, even just producing this season. And I'm just going to reflect back really quickly to another moment. You guys don't know, but the series, Pretty Undercover, all three were filmed in the same day. Okay. In addition to a whole 3, 4, 5 look photo shoot in the same day. So we gets it done. We got it done. And so, this is the sacrifice that is necessary because, as you know, Candace travels for work. I am a leader in my role. So I pretty much work. I'm not like an hourly employee. I work whenever work needs to be done. So yeah, it hasn't been easy, but I'm just thankful that we were able to persevere. And again, produce meaningful content that will just live on and on and on and on.
That's right. I would say, no, I don't have any kids yet. But to what you've said, being stretched from different areas of your life, for me, it was definitely trying to balance my full-time job. And with traveling, that could be a lot, especially because in this, I guess you could say, season, I've been doing a lot more driving than I have flying, and that could take a toll. To anyone who has a lot of traveling going on in their lives, then you know exactly what I mean. Angee knows because, look, you definitely know.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say, yeah, one of the biggest challenges for me during this season was the time management. Finding enough time for me to commit to making shorts or even producing shorts. It was like, oh Lord, because look, I had committed to Angee doing a certain amount, creating a certain amount of shorts. And it was even hard to do like the minimum at times. And yeah, I think it was because of my job, my full-time job, and the traveling can take a toll. Things have, certain KPIs have increased for my role, and that can add to the stress. So it was the time management.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. Well, let's get on to the next question. We are flying through these questions. We have someone who is watching right now. Let's see which platform, because we want to acknowledge our people who is out there.
Girl, it might be me. Look.
Okay. I was going to say, no, we had, I am Tiana Lachey. And also, I think Ramon might be watching. Hey, Miss Connie. It's so hard to go back and forth. Let's see.
Hey, y'all. I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying now, Angee, because I was like, I see the number 1, and I know I'm watching from my other device.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. If you all want to leave a comment, I can't tell. I was trying to see if they were on Instagram, or I think they're on Instagram. So yes, if they leave a comment, we'll be able to see it, but we'll have to flip back and forth. So thank you all for joining. If y'all want to ask us questions, so far we've only answered 2 questions. And so now we're moving on to question number 3. So let me go ahead and get question number 3 up here. All right. So sis, and we just kind of touched on this a little bit. So we might be able to just go past it, but how do you manage balancing your personal life with the podcast production? Like, what are your, I guess, your tips, your methods?
How do I manage it? I think it goes back to the time management part. So for me, self-care, making sure my stress levels are down, that's important to me. And so I just really made it a part of my personal life to make sure I'm doing things for myself, right? Taking moments for myself when things did get too stressful. I actually started, y'all, I'm about to pull this out, but there are moments, now I don't read it every day, but there is this devotional called Jesus Calling. And there are moments where things have gotten just way too stressful. And personally and with trying to juggle everything going on in my life. And I've had to take the moment to read a devotional, and it will recenter me. It will help me realize that ultimately God is in control. I can only do so much. And if I just give Jesus the will, all will be okay. What about you?
So I don't want to say it's funny you say that, but it's aligned that you said that, because honestly, I was going to say prayer, literally. Prayer and purpose. Literally. That's the two things. Like, God is my anchor first and foremost. So like without God, there would be no purpose. So it's prayer that I'm, executing this purpose in a way that where I am not gonna burn myself out so much that I cannot do what I'm supposed to do, right? So just checking in with God, checking in with God, checking in with my why, making sure, like you said, the self-care, girl, listen, I might need to be going to go get me a massage today, okay? But
that's
again,
okay,
because that's my regular weekend thing. That's how I treat myself, is I get a massage, usually on the weekends. And it could vary. I might get a full body one day. I might get just my back, or I might get my feet, which wherever my body calls me that needs attention, that's what I'm gonna do. But definitely taking the breaks. As you know, I did take some time off and went home and visited my family. That was much needed. So just really, being intentional about the time that I am taking away from the podcast, so that I can re-energize and refuel, to be able to bring forth, quality content.
right?
And, one thing about pursuing your purpose is it's not gonna always be pretty. It is not. But that's the beautiful thing about having a purpose, is that it's for a greater purpose. So there is no time. You mentioned KPIs, right?
Yeah.
In the workspace, right? There's all these targets and measures. And my thing is, when it comes to purpose, there's no solid, specific KPIs. You're on track when you check in with God. Listen, that's my KPI. God is measured. It's not, like I always say, the numbers, all that stuff. That is how we as people measure people's success or people's, progress. And purpose is a living, breathing thing. It doesn't just stop. There is no end result. It is, with God's will, it hopefully will overflow into someone else and continue on through someone else. That is what purpose really, really is. So
yeah. I love that.
Girl, it's just talking about it. Was just talking about it last night when I was telling you, well, I don't want to go too far ahead, but the place that I went last night that I shared with you, the individual I was speaking with, we were actually talking about purpose, and that came up. So Yep. All right. So sis, number 4, let's see, do we have any questions? Let's see if we have any questions in the chat yet. I'm looking at YouTube. I don't see any questions. I see, we have a question from Kiana Lachey. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you so much for being here. She says, great job, ladies. I'm proud of you both. Keep going. Thank you so much. What do you have planned for next season? We are definitely going to answer that question coming up shortly. And love Jesus Calling. Yes, I used to do them years ago in college. I need to pick up one as well. Yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you asking the question, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. Stick around. And I think, let's see, sis, which question do we have coming up next? Let's see. We are flying through this. We're at 3:25. We got good timing, though. All right. So next up is, how has your partnership grown or shifted during this season? Do you want me to take that, or do you want to go?
I'll share what I have to say about this one, because this is how has our partnership grown or shifted during this season? I will say tremendously. It has grown tremendously, because y'all don't really see a lot of the behind the scenes, right? And when I say I have made some personal decisions that have affected everybody in my life, especially Angee. And the way that I have seen Angee show up for me, and still to this day show up for me, and I the way that I see Angee show up for me as a sister, it's breathtaking. It's so refreshing. I'm so forever grateful, because I don't want to go into the details of some of the decisions that I've made, but I will say I've learned from those decisions that I've made. It was quite impulsive, some of the decisions that I've made. And I'm in therapy currently as we speak, trying to work out why I've made some decisions that I've made. Now, with that being said, I can't stress enough how much Angee has been a mentor, even more of a mentor, even more of a sister to me.
Don't you worry about
throughout this whole. I'm so serious. Throughout this whole season, I have learned so much. Like I said, you all don't see what goes on behind the scenes. You all don't see the text messages, the 4-hour phone calls, if not more. Okay.
Production meeting /
therapy sessions / are you okay sessions / can we talk about what's going on with you seriously /
yeah. I told you don't do this. I don't have my tissues, so yeah.
No. But I really want to point out the fact that I'm speaking. Look, I feel that our partnership has grown a lot because, and you hear these sayings how it's the trying times, it's the trials and tribulations that really make you see who's in your corner. It's when things aren't really looking right for you, when you can really see who's really there for you. I have been in numerous seasons, a relationship breakup. Angee has shown up as a sis during that season. I remember, Angee, when you knew I was going through a breakup, and I remember you saying it was kind of random, but I still think about it because I'm like, she at least seen me in the moment. She was like, Candace, I just want to let you know, y'all, I think we were either about to eat dinner or something, but we were about to start filming for an episode. And she randomly kind of said, hey, Candace, I understand that you are going through a tough season right now, especially with your breakup. And I just don't want you to think that I don't know the emotional weight that you're dealing with. And I told her about a situation that I had, and she literally pulled up like a video and was like, you going through this, right? This is what you want. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm going through. She literally was like, this, yeah, the thoughts. But I was like, this is what I'm going through. And I can only pray, y'all, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, if you could come into, if God blesses you with a sister, with a friend, with a mentor, like I have in Angee, you hit the jackpot, because I'm telling y'all, she has been through things that she has already went through, but I'm still learning. And
I'll hold your hands. Like,
and that's exactly what Angee has been doing. She has been holding my hand and has not scorched me or made me feel less than, or it was all done in love. It was all done in love. And I just pray that anybody watching this, I pray that you're able to meet someone with such a pure heart, with someone that has a heart of gold like Angee, because half the things, don't get me started, because look, we still got some more questions to go, but I will say, to answer your question, I feel that it has gotten us more connected, stronger, because there have been some stressors, and currently there is still a lot of stress going on due to some decisions that I have personally made impulsively. There is a lot of stress behind it, but we're taking it step by step to get.
We locked in, sis.
Yep.
And I just want to say, I'm glad that you said that as far as the growth, because this experience, we're both growing. Not just what you're experiencing from your perspective and how you're growing individually. I'm still growing too. I have biological siblings that are younger. Well, yeah, I do. But to have that big sister role has been something that I've always desired to have. Like, I'm always the baby, and even being a baby, what does that mean? What does that look like? A lot of times in families, if you are the youngest, sometimes you get too much attention, and that could be that can actually cripple you because you become so dependent and codependent on people. Or you could be, in my situation, the baby and have a sibling who's not supportive. I'm just going to say that. So it made me want to be all the things when it comes to sisterhood. This is why, if you guys notice in our intro, it was very important that I put that intentionally in the intro, that when you see our episodes play and you see what this platform is about, yes, Candace is my sister. I have adopted her. I love her like she's my biological sister. But that sisterhood means any woman that comes into community with us.
That's right.
Any of the women that you've seen on our podcast, any woman that is, engaging with our platform, they're going to get that same type of love, that same type of energy, that same type of support. That's what this platform represents. So growth, yes, I agree. The more time that we spend doing this together, the more time that, I'm able to pour into Candace. And Candace is an amazing, listen, she receives feedback well. Not everybody does. And that's important when you have someone who's genuinely pouring into you, being willing and open. And I always tell her, I'm like, look, you don't have to take my advice, right? I feel compelled to share this perspective with you to help you make a informed choice, whatever it is going to be. Right. At least you got this extra data now that you can, reflect on and consider. So I just want to thank you for always being willing to hear my heart, to, even though some of the situations I've been through, God, you probably won't ever go through. But I appreciate you not being judgmental and being receptive to see, how that could have shaped me or how that could have, contributed to who I am today. All right. So growth wise, yes, I will say our partnership, we already know that the creativity, the synergy, that was evident from the first time we got in the room together. We got together. It just, okay. That's an amazing thing. I don't want to use that word. I would say that is a once in a lifetime thing, because I ain't gonna say my age, but at my big old age, I've not encountered another creative that I was aligned with creatively and spiritually and morally and intellectually. Like we in many ways mirror one another. And as far as the growth, I think just as we've continued to work, the brand of Pretty Purposeful Podcast, I believe, has been solidified. And, so that's what I think this season, where the growth and the partnership is very clear that we work well together. As far as the shift, I would say, as Candace mentioned, that, there have been I will say, she said some decisions she's made. I'm just going to say life has happened, as life does. But when you have people who genuinely care about you, the business, the partnership, the podcast, the creativity, that goes pushed to the side for a moment, because that's going to be there. I need to make sure that my sis is good. I need my sis to understand that I'm good with what has occurred. But now let's not harp on what has happened. Let's think about solutions. How can we recover? How can we fix this? How can we move forward in a purposeful way? Right. And so as far as the shift, I would say The shift for me would probably have just been taking a step back in those moments, which I think this is the first season we've experienced anything like this, right? But also still trying to keep the momentum, for the podcast and the community. And it's all growth. It's all growth at the end of the day. So, and yeah, I'm not going, I don't want to, I can go down a rabbit hole on this topic. Trying my best not to boo hoo hoo because I don't have my tissues as I said I was going to have. I don't have them.
Me either, girl. I just have this towel. I just got a towel.
Oh my gosh, girl, you got more than I got. But it just goes to show that when you are in partnership and when you are in community with the right people, you can life can happen to you, and choices can be made, and it's like it's no judgment. It's more so about, okay, what can we do now? How can we move forward now? How can we prevent any additional discord, right? And that's kind of where we are. That's what we've done. And I says, no, look, I'm still holding your hand as much as you need me to. I'm not going to be overbearing because, like you said, you're going to therapy. You do have family support. You just have an additional support system over here, so.
Right. Yes.
With that being said, let's go into our next question, which kind of takes us back to the season.
Let's do it.
What do you hope that our audience took away from season 4?
I hope our audience took away the fact that ultimately God is in control. Because like you said, Angee, there are a lot of different things going on in this world. From the start of season 4, I think we were a bit disappointed because we were going hard on Miss Kamala winning. So we kind of started at this was unexpected, but we're going to press forward.
That's right.
Let's talk about the first 100 days. And there have been so many things that have happened. I'm telling you personally and in this season that have reiterated to me that God is in control, Candace. God is in control. You can only do so much. And then at the end of the day, share your perspective. Thank God for the Pretty Purposeful Podcast where I can express how I'm feeling about certain things or my perspective, and you've shared your perspective and lived experience, but then the rest is up to God on the positive impact that we hope it will make in the world. So from so many different angles, I just hope the audience knows that there's a higher power at work and God is in control. And I pray that you all have gained something that could help make your life better.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, sis. You pretty much took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say the same. We definitely started this season out, like I said, very intentional about how do we move forward? That was a real question. It deserved a real intentional look at where we are and what do we do. And not just one episode, that theme throughout the season. We just kept coming back with, when we had Dr. Henry on, we talked about, community. We had Cousin PJ on. We talked about, because there's a lot of people that are motivated by money. Right now, it's like, listen, we are dealing with a real crisis, not just in our country, in our world, not just in the Black community, but just everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
So you don't know what people are going through. So we talked about mental health. We shared resources. We created the Purpose Hub on our website. For those of you who are just watching for the first time, we actually have a page on our website dedicated to community resources and making sure that people know what options and what, services are available to them. I'm proud of us for this season. And my hope is that the audience, like you said, took away that God is in control. that just because the world is chaotic does not mean that you have to abandon your purpose. In fact, in times like these, look at that! I got my bell.
I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, y'all.
Girl, while you doing that, I'm gonna turn the fan off.
Oh my gosh, sis! I'm waiting. I'm like, sis was ready with her bell today. Okay, so I got my bell, y'all. I was not prepared. I'm sorry. But because I would have certainly rang it. I'm like, what is different? Why haven't, you know what? My sis has definitely said some bell-worthy things earlier. So let me go ahead and ring the bell. For all the things she said that I wanted to ring the bell for, okay? But I would say literally just because the world seems like it's falling apart doesn't mean that you cannot continue on your path of purpose. I tell you guys this all the time especially when I'm talking to Candace one-on-one and we're just kind of like recalibrating, you know, where we are, what we're doing, where we're going. It's like purpose is not a one thing type deal. Mm-hmm. It is literally how you're showing up. It is the how. You have the why, which can vary depending on the circumstance. Like this season, our why was to make sure that our community wasn't hopeless. Yeah. That our community was informed, that our community kept their eyes on what was really mattering in this moment collectively. Yes, we all have our individual trials and tribulations, but right now we need to hone in. We need to focus together as a community in every space that we show up, even at work. Like as a manager, you know, I talk to my team all the time and I encourage them, make sure you're taking care of yourself. You know, we're dealing with people calling in about, you know, Medicaid getting cut, Medicare getting cut. People are dealing with high emotions. So I encourage them to make sure they take time out for themselves, use your PTO. And so we try to encourage our purposeful family the same this season. But I just want to remind people out there, if you haven't figured out what your purpose is, this is a time to start being purposeful. And God will reveal what that thing is, whatever it is that you should be focusing on. If it's community outreach, you know, if it's, you know, focusing on your family, if it's focusing on your individual health, God will reveal that to you. But it's just, if you start having that mindset of showing up with intention, you know, in every space, it's not about perfection, because Lord knows we are not perfect. We pretty, but we ain't perfect, Lord.
We're near perfect.
So yeah, this season, it's my hope that you guys are able to see and witness two women, working career women, who have, you know, there's so many other things that Candace and I could have been doing with our time, but we chose to dedicate to this platform and the purpose behind it, which really is all about helping others to, you know, become purposeful in their everyday life. So that's what I hope everybody took away from this season.
That's it. That's it.
And I also hope that you guys took away that this bell is the mascot of this platform. If you haven't figured it out, now this little thing right here, we ring it for truth, okay? So if you want to support the podcast, I got to get my little plug in there.
Okay.
I learned from Miss Graham. Miss Rita Graham, shout out to Miss Rita Graham, who beautiful soul, beautiful woman that I met at the Apex Museum. But listen, when I tell you, she know how to get her plug in. So everyone, if you want to support the podcast, this is a way that you can support the podcast. It's just a little trinket. It's commemorative, but you also can use this for, look, if you're sick and you need somebody to bring you some soup.
Okay.
If somebody is getting married, you could be at the wedding. Like, if you're going to a graduation, you're going to the game. Listen, if you just need, look, New Year's Eve, okay. And most importantly, whenever somebody drops some truth on you, okay, you just need to reinforce that moment.
Come on.
Okay. So yes, if you want to support the Pretty Purposeful Podcast, check out our merch on the website, prettypurposefulpodcast.com, and click on merch. A lot of cool things there. And again, it's not about money, but yes, your support is appreciated. It definitely can help us expand and grow. But you know, the biggest thing is that everybody is getting something meaningful from this platform. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. And we are, let's see. Oh, time. Okay. So we're trying to, you guys, we were trying to stay within an hour. So we're doing good so far. The next question is what's next for the Pretty Purposeful Podcast? Will there be a season 5? So I'll go ahead and say, yes, there will be a season 5. What does that look like? I don't know, because usually in between seasons, that's when a lot of the planning takes place, you know. But yes, there will be a season 5. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into details. I'm going to actually shift this over now to my sis, so that she can share her thoughts on season 5.
Yes. So y'all, I do have some bittersweet news. But I am going to say, yes, like I'm super excited. Season 5 is definitely happening, but here's the bittersweet news that I have to share. I've decided to take a break from PPP, the Pretty Purposeful Podcast. Does this mean that this is the end of our sisterhood, friendship? No, not at all. I'm just deciding to make a decision that I see that is best for myself at the moment, for Angee, and for you all, the platform. Because one thing that me and Angee talk about on the platform and off is that integrity is everything, right? And I want to say this too. And I know I've already shared how much I love Angee, and Angee knows. But I have to share this right now, how much I really appreciate the fact that Angee allowed me to serve as a co-host on this platform. Now, to those that don't know Angee, she does not play when it comes to the people around her, for one, when it comes to the people in her personal space, for two, and when it comes to anybody that comes near her daughter. Like,
Hey.
She don't play about her baby girl. So the fact that she felt comfortable and felt a safe space to have me around in her intimate environment, outside, and we have become sisters. I cannot express how grateful I am, because it speaks volumes. Because of how I know Angee shows up in this world, and I tell Angee this all the time, it actually reminds me of who I am, because I know for a fact you won't be messing around with just anybody. So the fact that you saw fit for me to serve as a co-host for seasons 2, 3, and 4, that is what I needed. That was a blessing from God just right then and there, because y'all, there have been, if you go back and look at some of the seasons, I have had some friendships that have dissolved. It had me questioning who I was. And to this day, I'm still questioning, who am I really? Okay, what do I really want to do with this life of mine? Because it's so temporary. And that's part of the reason why. And me and Angee, we've talked about this, and she made it very clear, girl, we're gonna move it with purpose on this decision. We're gonna move with purpose. And I'm so happy she said that. But just so you all are aware, I feel like I'm in a space of cloudiness. And when it comes to being purposeful, there has to be clarity. And in this season that I'm in, I'm taking a step back from the platform so that I can get more to clarity. I'm currently in therapy. Like I've mentioned to you all earlier, I have made some decisions that I think if I was crystal clear on what my purpose was in life, I probably would have moved differently. But I don't solely regret some of the decisions that I made. I've learned from them, like Angee states a lot, but it has highlighted the fact that, whoa, I need to slow down and really think about, what am I doing here? And I want to keep the integrity as well, because how am I going to be on a platform saying, yeah, be purposeful, know who you are. This is who I am. But the decisions that I'm making, I wanted to reflect that as well. So I know I've said a lot. I've said a lot. And I will say this too. I know Angee is going to hold this platform down. It's going to be tremendously successful. I am excited to see it blossom even more. And I just love the fact that I think that me and Angee connecting from day one and seeing how it has blossomed. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about you will know the person by the fruit that they bear. In this relationship, what you see, this fruit that you see, it is very organic. It's very genuine. It's very on purpose, with purpose, for a greater purpose. And that's something that Angee stressed to me from the get-go. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm not in it to gain more friends. I'm in this for a greater purpose. And I've realized, especially, I know y'all are like, what decisions did Candace make? That was just so bad. Y'all, it doesn't have anything to do with drugs or alcohol, y'all. No. It's just a matter of, I don't even know how to explain it, but.
And you don't have to, sis. You don't have
to. I think this will be it's a good thing. Me and you both agreed to it. It's a good decision that I'm making to just kind of step back, take a breather, really hone in on meditating on what does Candace really want? What are you really pushing for? What's the goal here? What is the purpose? Yeah. What are you really passionate about? It's almost like I'm doing a reset again. I'm doing another reset. And I'm grateful. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. Look, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say I am grateful for Angee again for showing love, continuous love. And y'all don't be on the phone calls. Y'all don't be in the text messages. But let me tell you, I know this woman, there we go, Angee. I know she has my best interest at heart, because I know she wants me to be, she has stated it. She's like, I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to beg you, because I want you to be absolutely sure. Mm-hmm. And whatever you do, especially when it's involving me, I want you to be okay, very sure, have clarity in what you're doing. So I know her intentions for me are definitely good. Like, she has my best interest at heart, because she's willing to sacrifice even her wants. Because I know we've had conversations. Angee is like, girl, you don't see this collaboration. You don't see we getting along. But at the same time, Angee has made it clear as well that, hey, I understand. Take some time. I actually agree. You need to take some time, take a break, reset, get to know you. This platform not going nowhere. You know what I mean? And you would never know what the future may hold. We'll check in again from time to time. But again, Angee, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this experience. I have learned so much. Yes, it's bittersweet because I am stepping away, but I'm not gone, because Angee is sis. Right. Angee is mentor. Angee is, I need you in my pocket.
Yes. No, I cannot tell you how proud I am for you making that decision, because what I did not want to do is, I can't make that decision for you. But as you know, you guys don't know this, but before every season 2, when Candace joined, of course we met, we talked about what we are going to do, but the structure of the podcast was, it was different before. It was just me by myself. So there really wasn't a structure. It was, I showed up whenever I was going to show up and do an episode. But when you have a partnership, you have to have more structure. So yes, initially when we met Candace, we sat down, we talked about logistics. We worked all of the details out. Didn't know where it was going to lead us. Didn't know we was going to be here. Didn't know we was going to do all the things that we have done, all the amazing, beautiful, wonderful things that we have done. But each season after the first season that we worked together, I definitely wanted to take time ahead of time to make sure, okay, are you still committed to this? Right. Is this still what you want to do? And why do I do that? I know because I've been in situations where people have, and because I was prone to people pleasing, I would get caught up in these situations where it really wasn't good for me or wasn't a good season for me. And unfortunately, the people who I was collaborating with did not really have my best interests at heart. They were just thinking about how they could leverage me and my talent or my time and my resources. And they were not going to say, if it was going to impact what they were doing, they were not going to tell me to know, Angee, sit this one out. You need to focus on you. You know, you just went through a divorce. You trying to sell your house. No, they still wanted me, expecting me to show up and contribute. And that's the last thing that I would ever do to anybody, especially because I know what that feels like. And when you really care about someone, like I care about Candace, and I feel like it would be so selfish of me to sit there and still encourage her to show up. First of all, it would not only would say a lot about me if I did that, as in being very selfish, but also not even caring about, like Candace mentioned, the integrity of this platform. Like the quality would not be authentic. You wouldn't be seeing authentic, like you wouldn't be seeing authenticity. I feel like we would run into situations where this is, and I'm not trying to, I don't want to gossip, but I'm just going to say that we've seen publicly a couple different podcast partnerships break apart. And I, from my perspective, I think that it's probably because of a little bit of what we're talking about right now. When people truly, genuinely care about you as a person and the things that y'all are doing together, the things are going to be the things. The person is the person. Without the person, there is no things. So you got to focus on the person first, and that's why I believe that our partnership and friendship and sisterhood has been successful thus far, because we have seen each other as people, as humans first, before this, the podcast and the people. Right. And also from the very beginning, God made sure that we set the foundation. Look, God is why we're here. This is why we're doing this. He has brought us together. And we also need to foster a safe space for one another so that we can, so that when life happens, there is no judgment. There is no falling out. It is more of like, okay, how do we go forward? How can I help you move forward? What can we do? And so in having that being why this platform has made it this far, which seems it's seamless. It seems we make it look easy, sis. We make this thing look easy, but it's because we don't have all the drama. We don't have the toxicity. We don't have the mess. We do have clear communication with one another. Why? Because we know that the space is safe.
That's right.
It's welcomed. It's appreciated. And again, I was not surprised at this decision because, again, I had already known deep down that this was the best thing for Candace, but I wanted her to make that decision for herself. She needed to make that decision. That's part of her growth.
And it was still hard. It was still hard.
But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, sis, because this is a part of your journey. Pretty Purposeful Podcast is a part of your journey. It's part of, all the lessons, all the things, everything that you gain from this experience. This is why I said we talked about this privately, but like sometimes we can get involved in situations as a distraction, right?
Yep.
My thing is, if this had been a distraction, at least it was one that was meaningful, one that was held you accountable, one that added value, one that exposed you to some new perspectives and some new, just, it was all, I believe, it was God's word. It was a work of God that this even came about. And so of course I support your decision. And will I miss, all the fun that we have, recording? Because of course the sisterhood and friendship is still there. Yeah, we could get together, we could do brunch, we could get together and do community work together.
Yes.
But the filming process for Candace and I, it's fun when we get together. Y'all know, y'all see the bloopers.
The bloopers don't give it justice.
No. My daughter is I can only imagine the things that go in her mind when she see how me and Candace behave. But it's like this. I'm glad that my daughter gets to be exposed to this type of healthy dynamic when you're working with someone and you're passionate about what you're doing. This is how it should be. You should be laughing till you get them belly laughs.
Okay.
Laughing till you got tears, and then you just do it out. When I'm editing videos, I relive those moments every time. I'm like, oh my God, we some fools.
Okay.
So that's how I know, like, at the end of the day, everything that has transpired up until this point was a part of God's plan, because God was in it from the very beginning. And even right now, this is being handled with care and with love and with purpose, because I care about my sister and I understand that we might be aligned. We might be aligned in our purpose, but sometimes your seasons may not necessarily be aligned. Mm-hmm. And it takes for you, the people that are around you who genuinely care about you to recognize that and support that. And I support that. I'm like, look, I need you to take time away, sis, because I want, whenever you do, if you ever do decide to come back in whatever capacity, because here's the thing, sis may not come back as a co-host, or we may partner on something else. But when we do, at least I know that it's not forced. It's not hindering any aspect of your life. If anything, it is adding to, and you're clear about your why you're there. So I need you to take that time away and get that clarity. And I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna still be holding your hand, maybe not as much or as close, because with the podcast we communicate all the time. But I think it's also important too that I take a step back in this season to allow you to get that clarity. I want that for you. I genuinely, wholeheartedly am happy that you're doing this for you. This is how you love, y'all. What y'all witnessing right here is self-love. Okay, this is self-care. And I'm so proud of you for that. And I do pray that, and will continue to pray that in this season, however long this season is and wherever it leads, that through this season that you continue to remember that God has a purpose for you, and you scratched the surface. You're already heading in the right direction. It's just, this is necessary. And I'm going to be there to support you throughout that. Gosh, sis, I'm telling you, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to do it.
Don't cry, girl.
I'm trying my best not to get too emotional here, but what you guys are witnessing, this is really what living a life of purpose is. You should be able to do exactly what you guys are witnessing right now. I really wish this for everyone. I pray that everybody can have that, whether it be your just in any relationship. People should respect that you might be in a different season in your life and want to see you get the clarity that you need. So as far as PPP, I've got time to think about what season 5 looks like. As an individual, you guys know I do a lot of stuff, so I'll figure something out. Even if I have to have guests, hosts, I don't know. But the platform is here. It's established. My sis is as long as she wants her picture to be up on the website. I mean, we can put look. She's on sabbatical or whatever however you want to do it. I don't ever want you to feel like you're not a part of this. You are a part of this purposeful family. Yes, you are. Of course, in the capacity that makes sense for you, but of course, as the host, no, Candace is not going to be returning as the host, but is she still a part of this community? Absolutely.
Look, yes, I am like you. Listen, in full support, y'all. When I say y'all just have no idea, Angee, she is on a mission, and I look forward to all the seasons to come because I know the mission that she's on. It's gonna be a game changer. Y'all always hear me say this. Go back to season 1. In fact, I want to go back and re-listen to the episodes of season 1 because she was spitting so much truth. So many gems were in season 1. And I already know, Angee, it's going to be completely successful. You are about to change the world with the content that you are going to create and put out there for everyone to view. And oh my gosh, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful I've been able to meet you, been able to have the experience of what it means to actually engage with the community and help make it better. What does it look like in action? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I've learned this about myself. I really love this. I love engaging with, I do consider myself to be an introvert, but I could definitely be an extrovert. With my energies.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on purpose. But I know it is, girl, you saying I'm scratching the surface, ma'am. You're just scratching the surface. We haven't seen nothing yet. And I just know that what you are about to work on, everything, all your future endeavors, I mean, outside of the podcast, it will be very intentional, very impactful, making this world a better place, helping shift perspectives. And I'm just, look, where's my popcorn? Because I already know, I'm like, she about to be doing it. She is about to be doing it.
Speaking of that, sis, of course, we talked about what's next for the podcast. So,
oh yeah,
our purposeful family, of course, now that they have the news has been revealed, people are probably wondering, how they can still support you, how they can still support us. So I'll let you share how our purposeful family can continue to support you. Yes. And which will be up to, if you want to share. I mean, you already mentioned that you're going to be focusing on you, but if there's anything else.
If y'all want to catch me and I guess see Candace in action whenever I decide to be in action.
TikTok, y'all.
TikTok. Yes. You can find me on TikTok at your.health.matters1, the number 1. Or you could catch me on YouTube. I haven't been on there posting new content recently. That might change in the future though. But my handle is at healthmatters2320. So if you want to connect with me there, I would love to meet you all.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Listen, when I met Candace, she was a TikTok guru. She's still a TikTok guru. Okay. I'm still learning from my sis. That's one thing. If you want to keep up with Candace, you can catch her on TikTok. She definitely is very, I think she does an amazing job with her content. Of course, she's a creative. So definitely check out and follow her on TikTok. Now, I'm on TikTok too. I haven't really spent much time in really learning how to engage. I think I've only gone live a handful of times. But sis, remember when I was able to go live, I was so happy. Like, oh, I could go live.
Yes.
So, I have some news I want to share with you all. So I'm not giving a release date, but you guys, I am working on some new music.
Yes.
my gosh. Okay, so you guys, it's been a very long time coming. Very long time coming. Again, I'm going to just preface this by saying my goal is not to be famous. Okay. Beyonce is Beyonce, and I do not listen. If Beyonce is the bar, you got that, sis. Like, more power to you. If I could have an intimate audience, I love doing community days and performing. I'm going to always use my gift in ways that align with my purpose. So giving back to the community, raising awareness about matters that, issues that matter. And if I get a recurring gig performing somewhere, that'd be great. I don't necessarily aspire to have all the eyes on me, right? I don't need the attention. I just want to use my gift that God gave me in a way that is meaningful, but also one that is not restricted or one that requires me to compromise who I am. And in the past, when I've tried to pursue this music, I was viewing it as a career path, as a way to make a living. And so now I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it like, hey, if my gift does yield some financial, success, great. Right. But that's not my motivation. I really want to hone my craft. I want to become better at writing songs. I want to be, maybe I might end up producing in the future. I don't know. It's just when you love something, like I love music. I love music so much, y'all. I have got this tatted on me. So, it's with me for life. Okay. But I genuinely love music. It's who I am. Most people that know me know that I love to sing. My daughter actually is going to be producing this project. So this is like major. This is legacy right here. This is me and my daughter using our God-given talents, come together and create something that hopefully will touch people's lives, will help people, and just help amplify again the message. And it's just another vehicle. It's just another way for me to be purposeful in this world. So that's coming. And with that being said, I will be on TikTok occasionally, going live, because I won't be doing the podcast, right? So I'll have more time. I'll have a little bit more time to kind of engage on TikTok and build up that community. So you can find me over at TikTok at Angee Mèlange. All right. Aside from that, sis, do you have any final thoughts?
No. Do you hear that echo? Do you hear echo? I'm hearing an echo. That's weird. Okay. But no final thoughts. I love each and every one of you all. Angee, I love you. This is not a goodbye. This is a see you later. In fact, I'm literally about to see you later.
Literally, we about to meet up. Like, we about to be in these streets, okay?
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
But y'all.
Oh, sis, you want to tell them? I mean, if they are following us, they already know, but we can't leave without reminding them. Hold on, sis. Hold on. This is the reminder, right? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Came in the door, dripped in Balenci, crop leather coat, and some 9-inch Fendi. The crowd opened up and I started to strut. I need my space, but I'm signing autographs and such. Hit the little girls from the pad on my nose. Then came in 3 hating assholes. They don't know the meaning of water nor soap. I don't have time for the rigmarole.
You're on mute.
Oh! Was I on mute that whole time?
I only heard the music.
Oh, okay. I think whenever I played that, it automatically muted me. I want to get the actual flyer up. So no, we actually have the information I can put on the bottom of the screen. So you guys, that was just an advertisement for our upcoming fundraiser. As you guys know, we've been sharing on our pages, reminding you guys that we are raising funds right now for Kevin Scales. He's a gentleman that we met back in, was it April? Mm-hmm. So we're taking our fundraising to the next level. We out here. Okay. We started online. Then we try to do an outdoor event, like kind of like a pop-up, right? Karaoke. Yeah. And the weather did not cooperate. So now we're taking it inside, but we're partnering with On Beat Lounge in Lawrenceville on Old Norcross Road. If you're not doing anything this Thursday, Come check us out. I will be the guest DJ. I'll be on the ones and twos. Really, my MacBook, but I'll be on the virtual ones and twos. And of course, we're gonna be singing. There's gonna be a silent auction. Again, all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds are supporting Kevin. Sis, do you want to just kind of brief everybody on what's going on with Kevin, what progress he's made so far, and what we're trying to do for him?
Yes. So we were able to help Kevin get into some shelter, but we are needing funds to help maintain that for Kevin. So a huge thank you to Angee for sponsoring this. Like, she is about to throw it down as a DJ over at On Beat Lounge. Y'all, this is going to be a blast. So, speaking about Kevin again, so currently he is still fighting his foot infection. It's actually both of his feet that are still battling the staph infection. He's still going through cellulitis. He has gotten much improvement, but it's not completely healed. So we are continuously, he's on antibiotics. He's been taking antibiotics for the past, I want to say 3 weeks or so. And it's been the latest antibiotics that he's taken were very strong. So he is kind of struggling there, but he is a warrior. Kevin is a fighter. He is definitely battling this infection. And the goal is to get it completely healed so he can be up and at it again. He is a personal trainer. He wants to get back out there and help people reach their fitness goals. And we definitely need you all support to help him maintain his current shelter, to help knock this infection completely out so that he can heal, continue to heal, and continue to live out his purpose in helping other people become better versions of themselves. So that's where we stand with Kevin.
Yeah, this was the one that we had we were gonna do outside, but it's still relevant even right now. You guys, this is Kevin. This was the flyer that we had for the outdoor pop-up event that we were going to do. The QR code does still work. So if you're watching this and you want to donate, go ahead and scan that QR code. That will take you to the GoFundMe. Yes. If you're able to come out again, not only do you get to support a good cause, but you'll be able to come and hang with us, hang with me and my sis. Mm-hmm. It's going to be all positive vibes. We get to create this night. We get to make this a night to remember, a meaningful night. And we appreciate the community, coming together with us to support this brother. It could be any one of our brothers, husbands, cousins. It could be one of us, So I just say, just try to put yourself in his shoes and imagine if you have been dealing with this. And I don't know. If they watch the video, they'll kind of get the backstory on how he even got the infection. But, a brief stint in the county jail for a minor situation.
Right.
Out of there with something that literally is debilitating, literally has turned your life upside down. So this could happen to anybody. Imagine going to court for something, a parking ticket or something. Next thing you know, they handcuffing you. You in there for a night or two, and then you catch something while you're in there. And then because of the whole situation, you can't even walk anymore. So it's been a rough journey, and anybody that has had to deal with the social, I'm not going to say all social service organizations, but specifically when it comes to government assistance, those agencies, and this is nothing against any government workers out there, but I'm just saying that because of the amount of people that are in need, sometimes they're not available. Sometimes they're hard to get in contact with. They have a lot of requirements. A lot of it requires you to be in communication with them, whether it be by phone or by mail or online. And come on now, you're dealing with severe staph infection. You in pain. Come on now. It's a lot of stuff that the average person that's healthy would be struggling to manage and maneuver when it comes to dealing with government agencies. So y'all out there that know what I'm talking about, think about Kevin, put yourself in his shoes. couple dollars, you know, whatever you're able to afford, whatever you can give, and know that Candace and I, like, we're making sure that he is getting the treatment that he needs. And we want to connect him to where he's able to get stable housing long term. Right now, he's has a temporary living situation, but that's only by the grace of God and a angel donor who, Lord, listen, the angel is amongst us. Okay, you guys, I'm just gonna tell him, sis.
No, don't.
Okay, y'all. So Candace, you're telling me don't, but I'm gonna say that Candace has definitely been contributing a lot to ensure that Kevin has a stable roof over his head. He's not on the street anymore, and that's thanks to Candace, but she can't do it alone. I've been able to contribute as much as I can, but I can't do it alone. We can't do this alone. So we are calling on the community to come together for a cause. This is not just random. This is a real person with a real situation that we all can make a difference in. And he's so awesome and knowledgeable. And he just wants to get back in the gym. He just wants to go work out, like
literally,
I mean, come on. Yeah. So guys, please come out and support Kevin.
Yes.
And he's gonna have a testimony. He already has a testimony, but this right here, seeing how we're able to come together, use our resources, use our talent, and for him, this is God, making this all possible. This is God bringing everything together, everyone together. So just think about that. I had to get on my mom when I went to Pittsburgh. My mom donates a lot of money, y'all. My mom is on a fixed income. Okay. As y'all know, the elders, they be getting a different solicitation in the mail, asking them to donate to this fund, that fund, this fund, that fund. Long story short, my mom has been supporting people that she'll never meet. Right. So I had to talk with her, and I said, Mommy, what you're doing is very commendable. And I know that God sees your heart. God knows that you're only giving what you can afford. You're not giving more than you can, But I said, have you ever considered taking that money that you send away and supporting a local charity or organization? And it just shift her perspective, And I don't know if she'll take me up on it, but I told her, I said, even your church. I said, I know you tithe. She tithes regularly. She does offering regularly, but sometimes churches have additional funding, fundraising efforts that might be for the youth or might be for, whatever. And I'm like, let's consider reallocating that money to something that you can actually see where your money's going and see the impact that you're making. And so that's what I use that story to just remind you all that this is a situation that y'all can actually see Kevin's progress, get a chance to see Kevin's, healing, and just to see where this effort takes Kevin, because we're in it. We want to make sure that this brother gets on his feet, literally and figuratively.
That's right.
And so we just need your support, guys. And then we're going to have a good time. I'm going to be DJing, y'all. I'm going to be DJing. And that's another thing, you guys. So because of this opportunity, right, I was actually presented with a offer to DJ regularly. So this is kind of like my DJ debut, y'all. And anybody y'all know, like, my daughter's father is a DJ. I've been around a lot of DJs. I cannot say that I am the best DJ, but I do know music, and I know what makes people want to dance, and I know how to shift the mood and the vibe throughout the night, right? Accordingly. I would like to say, my daughter's father, because he is a very well-known DJ in Pittsburgh. I ain't even going to say his name right now because his DJ has been in the media for other things, and I don't want to, let's just say Karaoke Mike. shout out to him, because I feel like I got a chance to see up close and personal what it takes to actually hype a crowd, to cater to the crowd, be able to read the crowd. So I do have that insight. So I'm looking forward to bringing that and put my own little spin to it. And this would be like a little part-time gig for me.
Come on. Yes.
So that's what I'll be doing seasons. But before we get out of here, sis, again, I just want to thank you for all that you have contributed to this platform. Trust me when I tell you, just me alone would not have been able to make this type of impact. Your perspective was needed. It really enriched the topics and conversations. It made it more than it's just not just about my perspective, but getting another perspective, and just the creativity. Like I'm definitely looking forward to whatever God has in store for us, however he wants to use us together. I'm all for it, and I look forward to it. But yeah, Purposeful family, make sure you guys keep supporting my sis, keep her in your prayers, keep this platform in your prayers, and please continue to support. And that's really all I have. Sis, did you have any final thoughts?
No final thoughts. I want to see y'all, okay, at the On Beat Lounge.
That part.
Karaoke for Kevin. I need to see y'all there, okay?
I would say if they can't make it, the link is in the bio.
Yes. The link is in the bio for you all to support the GoFundMe. Y'all, let's have a good time. Angee is putting a lot, like we look, Angee has made magic happen. That's the easiest way I can put it. All right. She has made things happen with getting this together in such a short notice. So please come support.
All right. Well, sis, this will be our last time signing off. So Purposeful family, I gotta be a little extra. So
come on.
Me and my sis, week after week, month after month, season after season, we brought y'all looks, we brought you fashion. You guys, y'all know we are blessed to be pretty. And pretty is, as they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We enjoy dressing up and jazzing up and looking good and all that good stuff. And that's okay. It's okay to be pretty.
But even better to be
pretty purposeful. Bye.
Came in the door, dripped in Balenci, crop leather coat and some 9-inch Fendi's. The crowd opened up and I started to strut. I need my space, but I'm signing autographs and such. Hit the little girls from the pat on my nose. Then came in 3 hating assholes. They don't know the meaning of water nor soap. I don't have time for the rigmarole.